Hi. Oh, I forgot to take this off. It's a bit cold. I wanted to take it off. But yeah. Hello. Um, I think I'm not really late, but I am slightly late, like 5 minutes late. But that's also because I put the wrong title and stuff because oh my god, okay, because it's been kind of hectic. But um, I just realized that there's something on the floor, so give me 1 second. Mom? Oh, I'm back. Oh gosh. Okay, sorry. So I was trying to confirm if it was puke or if it was poop, and consensus was it is puke. So I'll clean it up after this, or maybe tomorrow. It's a bit late. So yeah, um, I didn't do this one last week because I had a thing on the Friday, so I couldn't go live on Thursday. Also, what is wrong with the camera? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me what? It's connected. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this camera, but yeah. Oh, hello. Hi. Yeah. My camera is kind of weird, but yeah. So, anyways, I wanted to do this one last week so that we could highlight this week, but it ended up not happening because I had to go somewhere on the Friday, and that was to my farewell party. So I couldn't just leave that and then go live because I had to do it up to like late because I have to go like to work first, and then from work, which ends at 6 for me, then we go elsewhere. So that's why I couldn't go live last week. But yeah, so I didn't post this, but my friends got me a farewell gift, and it was the other set that I couldn't get. I'm really happy about this. But yeah, so I don't think they're watching. I know that they're not, probably. But they got me the second season Mobile Suit Clear Color set as a farewell. And I was so happy. Because I got the first season set because. Oh my god! I got the first season set because I kind of preferred it, like slightly. But I wanted to get both, but I didn't have enough money for it. So I'm glad that they got that as a farewell. But yeah, I'm glad to be streaming again after a week. It's been a hectic week, so let me just get the screen changed and then we'll chat while I paint. Wrong scene. My face. Okay. So my face keeps disappearing and I don't know why. Also, I'm sorry I'm in pajamas. But yeah. Also, it's a new um, brush that I haven't actually used before. I got it last month, I think very early last month, but I ended up not using it for a while. Oh, because I had more Gundam projects, and then I keep forgetting that I bought a new paintbrush to use for painting miniatures and stuff like that. So let's put this paintbrush to good use today. Maybe let's just put it there. I think I'm gonna have to let it first because it's kind of frigid. Anyways, how have you guys been? It's Thursday now, so there must have been a few things that happened. I have been kind of busy this past few weeks because there are a few things that are going on in my life and things are like kind of hectic at the moment. I just changed jobs. Like I just moved to a different company, and that's pretty. It's been kind of hectic, and my schedule has changed quite a lot. So, damn it. Okay. So my schedule has changed quite a lot since moving, because okay, because I'm not used to doing it in that certain time frame, like work. I mean, it's a bit different for me because I've been working on a different like schedule than most of us for these past few like years, and then suddenly I have to go back to working like a 9 to 5 kind of thing. It's kind of weird, and it makes me kind of all over the place for now. So I've been wanting to do more YouTube content as well, but because of this also I think it'll be a bit hard. I have one like in the process, but I couldn't finish it because I didn't have time to yet. So we'll see if I can get anywhere by the end of this week. If not, then YouTube is going to be postponed a little bit again. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, so my life has been a bit hectic. It's heavy rain outside. How about you? The rain was heavy lately. Oh yeah, it was a bit heavy. Like I think a few minutes ago, but now it's not. So it's died down quite a lot since when it started. But yeah, now like it's been a few days that I need to shake this. It's been a few days or like weeks, I think, that the rain has kind of been really heavy, but also kind of all over the place. So like there's no set time, and it'll just come and then leave, and then suddenly it's back again. But like it's always kind of heavy, like rain in striptease version. Also, I forgot. I need the manual or at least the box, because I don't have a clear idea of where is colored what. So let me set that up a bit. Let me move all the paints away. It feels like it's very unaesthetic at the moment. Okay, this is the reference pictures. We've done her. I need to do them in case you guys didn't know. So yeah. Also, I actually got a cable for my internet. It's not here yet. I think it's pretty clear that it's not here yet. I'm pretty sure it's lagging, but I will be testing it out as soon as the product comes. So if it comes tomorrow, we're testing it out tomorrow if I can set it up. So yeah, hopefully that will solve our PowerPoint problems, and we can have a smooth streaming experience from now on. Oh no, you think you have a crush on me? I'm sorry, I don't know what to do with that information. Oh, that makes me want to tell a story though. So basically, I've never really had anyone have a crush on me before, so I don't know how to respond when people say that they like me or they think I'm cute, even if it's just like, oh, like you're looking great today or something like that. I don't usually believe them. That's because like usually like in elementary up to like high school, I've never really gotten complimented in that manner. So like I was not considered beautiful or pretty or even cute in any sense of the word. So that's why it's like a bit like I don't know how to respond, you know? Um, so when I first started dating, I think it was it was really awkward for me to receive compliments. They would compliment me quite a lot, and then I would just brush up. No, no, I'm not this or that. And it just like keeps going on. And then up until now, actually, like if someone compliments me, it doesn't have to be like a romantic partner or anything. It makes me like shy away from it because like I'm like, no, no, that's not possible. But yeah, so I think it was how many years ago, and so it was like how many years ago? Sorry, I'm reading your comment. I'm laughing at it. Anyways, it was how many years ago? I think my current boyfriend was trying to what's it called? He was trying to court me basically, and we were at a McDonald's. It's not romantic in any sense of the word, but it wasn't really a planned confession, and I just would not get the hint. It was just kind of ridiculously dense. Like I was ridiculously dense. So he kept saying like I like you in like a romantic way. Like I want to date you, and I keep like, really? Sounds like a bad decision on your end. That sounds like a very bad financial, business, personal decision. You know, I don't think that that's a very sound decision you're making over there. I think it's very dumb, in fact. And then I think he got kind of pissed because I was just not getting it. I thought I think he thought that I thought that he was doing it like to be friendly in a way. And I was responding as if like a friend is hitting on me, you know, like sometimes like when your friends are joking with you and like flirting with you, like that. I thought he was doing that. But yeah, so that happened quite a while until he had to like raise his voice at me and be like, no, 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 no. Listen, you thick fuck. Listen, you thick fuck. I actually like you and I want to date you. Do you want to date or not? And I had to sit there in silence and actually like, oh, wait a minute. So I had to sit there and like, okay, that okay, yeah, okay, cool, sounds legit. So yeah, that's a story of how we ended up dating. In case anyone was curious. Uh, I don't think so. I really don't think. I don't think you would have liked me. I don't know. I don't think I'm pretty. I really don't. So like, I think I was lucky to have anyone who wanted to be my boyfriend. But yeah. Um. I feel like I maybe had a slight glow up because for a fact, high school I was like an ugly duckling. I know that. Nobody wanted to like. I think I even had a hard time making friends. I don't know if it was because I think it was just because like, they saw I was kind of weird, but I couldn't fit in with everyone there. It's kind of hard to fit in when it feels like everyone else is on a different caliber than you are. But also, other than that, it's like it's not just like looks or anything. I just couldn't blend in with their conversations and stuff. But when I heard people talk about like girls and like rating them, you know, like that's what boys do, right? That's what like um middle school, high school boys do. They'll rate the girls from like the pretty ones. These are like the tens and stuff like that. I would never make that list. It was really um I don't know. I was at the bottom. I was always at the bottom. So I'm still not used to. Um, I don't think I'm pretty at least. So That's why, I guess. I'm not really concerned about physical only for making relations. If the relationship is put by physical intent only, the foundation will be weak and it should be weak. That's true. But how to explain like my thought process? It's not really that, but hold on, I'm sorry. But like nowadays, I feel like I've been getting more recognition, I guess, in that, like, attention in that way, and I'm not used to it. Because I don't know, I don't think I've ever gotten like creeps on Instagram or anything like that. I just thought that was not a universal experience for ugly people. So it was kind of, it's also kind of weird for me to actually get, what's it called, compliments a lot through Instagram. That was the first time I actually got a lot of compliments, other than, of course, like with my friends and family, but they don't really count in a way. Because, like, your friends and family, they love you. They kind of have to say it. They kind of have to compliment you here and there, no? But, like, strangers online, they don't have to. If they don't like you, they can just go away. So, yeah. I thought this paintbrush would be better, but it's fraying before I can even do anything, which I do not like. It's fraying already, and I haven't done anything special. I thought this would be a lot sturdier. I might get a different brush then. I mean, it was pretty cheap, but I thought it'd be better. So, I guess that's disappointing. I don't know if I would get this again. This is the first time I'm using it. I already frayed. Like, I don't think it's supposed to fray this quickly. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to fray this quickly, actually. In fact, like, I really don't think it's supposed to fray this quickly. What the hell? Why is it already fraying? Oh, that's black. But I think you're pretty well. At least you must be boy's favorite to be talked about in the canteen. No. They weren't talking about me specifically. They were talking about everyone and they were listing everyone. So, it wasn't like they were talking about me specifically. But I think there was a time where I was pretty close with one of the boys, and he had a group of boys like that he was a part of. They weren't really that popular. They weren't they weren't the they weren't the jocks either. So they weren't like the popular, good-looking kids in school, you know. They were just like, I think they were more to like geek group, and even they were like, she's like a 4 out of 10. I think someone said that I look like a rat, and like honestly, right, I don't really care that people don't think I look good or something of the sort. But words like that, even if you didn't intend to hear them, they stick because it's not nice. It's not nice to hear. So, yeah, it was I think the first time someone said that about me, like I look like a rat, and that kind of gave me kind of a shock. So I didn't want to talk to anyone after that. Making friends is hard in high school. People are mean. Like, in general, I feel kids are mean. I don't think, because I don't think kids understand the gravity of their own words yet. So they say and do things without really thinking, 'cause they don't really have much of a consequence yet at that point. So I bet they weren't really thinking either when they were saying those things. They were just like poking fun, you know? I hold no grudges to like high school or middle school or anything. I was pretty mean back then too to everyone else because like again, kids don't really understand the gravity of what they're doing. So if you bully someone, unless you're doing it like physically, right, you probably don't know the seriousness of what you are doing, like how badly this is going to affect someone. I bet if it was kind of like verbal stuff like that, it's not going to stick in your head like that this is wrong unless it's being done to you. But even so, even if it is being done to you, I feel like you're going to go and look for someone to um I don't know how to explain it. Like to push that anger towards, you know? So like you gotta like vent it out somehow. And that's probably by like being mean to other kids. Really want to take me to Bali and have a good sunset and sipping cocktails. Sounds nice actually. I think I've only been to Bali like twice. Once or twice. I think twice. Once was with my college friends and then once with my family. I think, if I'm not wrong. Well, with one with my family, we didn't really do much because we had a we had a tour guide, I think. So we couldn't really do just whatever we wanted or whatever we felt like. The one with my friends, we made jewelry. Like we polished our own. We shaped and polished our own jewelry, which was fun. I kind of miss going to Bali, but that's because I don't live or work there. And I only had a nice holiday there, and very rarely too. I know for a fact that if you work at Bali, you probably don't want to go back to Bali. But yeah, I think that should be it, right? For the black. Is it? I think it is. I'm not sure. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave the black at that for this one. And then let's move on to her. She needs a lot of black. And I think we're going to have to fix the black after I put on some white. But apparently I don't think they through enough. Um, have you checked the hotel name Novus Giri? It's in Puncak, but the vibes really feel like Bali. Oh, I haven't. I haven't gone on a vacation in so long. Actually, it's been at least 3, 4 years that I haven't gone like outside of the like Jakarta area, the Jabodetabek area. Honestly, because I don't know, I just never really felt the need to go on a holiday. Like I wanted to go, but it's also like I want to save money to use for other things. So I just never ended up going. So I haven't really checked anything about like holidays ever since I started not going on them, I feel. I haven't stayed in a hotel since my colleague's wedding, which I had to stay in a hotel because it was out of town. It was where I forgot, but it was far away, and I couldn't just, you know, take a day trip back. I had to go there by train as well. So that was fun and memorable, but also kind of like really far. And I mean, I'm glad I could attend, but it was really far. But it's been also like a while since I took the train, so that was also a really fun ride. The last time I took a train before the wedding one was probably like in high school when we had field trips, and then we had to take a train together as like a whole grade because we had to go to like a different city, I think, which was fun, but also in retrospect, I feel like it could have been better. Maybe not a train. I don't know. Trains are fine though. I actually like riding the trains. They feel really high class nowadays. So yeah, trains are nice. I can bring him. Ah, I usually don't really go anywhere outside of Saturdays and Sundays either, because I only have two cars and my family uses the cars, so I can't go anywhere. So I've been stuck at home for quite a long time now. Enough for me to be kind of bored, but also I'm very much a homebody, so I don't really mind it that much. And I have the cats to keep me company, so I haven't really cared about like leaving the house ever since I got cats. I also haven't really thought about vacationing ever since I got the cats because I had to leave them at home if I did, and I just didn't think that that was a very good choice considering how much one of them will scream. She's probably going to like get the whole neighborhood worried about like pet endangerment because they think I'm abusing her or something. Cause she will scream until I come home. So I don't think that's the best option, like to leave the cats alone at home. But yeah. What else do I have? Like story wise, I mean, I'm not sure I have anything actually this week. Mm. Oh, the giveaways just ended not too long ago. I went there on Sunday after 3 days consecutively going there. I just didn't go anymore during the week. And then on Sunday, I went to take my entry home because it's a 2 week entry. I did not expect anything out of it, anyways. But yeah, so there was like a winner's announcement, and then there was also like um oh, there was not much during the last day. There was two other cosplayers though. So there was Barbatos and I think it was a Suzabi. And it was really cool seeing them up close. But taking your stuff home, the lining up is dreadful. It was terrible. It was so long and like there's so many people because like there's hundreds of entries. Everyone was trying to take theirs home. Everyone was lining up. I was just not going to end up home, it felt like. And then I think because I'm also like a girl, people don't expect me to be taking my entry. So they kept there was like one person who was like standing next to me and then trying to get in front of me. I don't know if they were trying to cut in line or they just genuinely did not think I was the one taking my entry home. So that was an experience. I don't like the waiting part of the whole situation. It's really annoying. Have you tried Uji Ramen in Japan? I think is it that one next to the Lawsons? Because if yes, I have tried it, but it was quite some time ago. So I think I tried like the black garlic one, which was really good. I like garlic, so that was really nice to have. Oh, let me shut up for this first. The faces are really small. I don't want to get the flesh into the hair again. Because I don't want to fix that again. Because I think if I end up having it like get into the hair, I'm gonna have to fix it up. I'm gonna have to fix the face up again. I mean, need white. Just at the very end of my drawer. I really wanna get staycation and work from a hotel. If you're working from a hotel, I don't think it counts as a staycation. It's just work from a hotel. Staycation, I feel like you have to be offline. I don't know, a vacation is offline. I would not want to work during a vacation. If anyone calls me during my vacation, I'm going to hang up like right then and there because I will not answer. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to answer if someone's calling me on my vacation to answer something work related. Like that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. I did not get paid to answer you during my vacation. If I got paid to answer that phone call, then sure. But if I'm not, then I'm not answering. Cause like I'm taking a break. I don't want random stresses on a holiday, you know? Oh, this kind of reminds me. This is kind of weird. Is this a scam? Like if someone calls you and then be like, "Stay away from my husband. He has a kid and a wife." Cuz I don't think I have my number on my Instagram. I'm pretty sure I don't. And someone texted me that and then they were like, "This is XXX wife. Please stay away from it." I'm like, I don't even know someone named that. Like, who are you? And then they kept calling me. I blocked them, but like it still shows up because I have Truecaller, and it still shows up as like how many calls blocked and from who. And there were so many calls from her. It was kind of I was so confused. I was confused because like I don't know who this person is. I've never heard of her. I've never heard of her husband either. I don't know where she got my number or why she thinks I am helping her husband cheat. But like, is that a new scam? Is that a new scam? Like I need to know because if it is a new scam, then that's probably why, right? I don't like when like if you're at home and you get a call from work. I like when like you just have personal time, you know. So I'm not going to. I'm probably going to get mad if I was involved in it. Like we were talking, and then suddenly you get a call, and you're like, "Oh, wait a minute, my work is calling. I will slap you." I legit will because unless it is your own company or you are getting paid big money, like really big money, to justify taking that call, then you are not getting paid enough to answer that call during your off hours, unless it is urgent or unless it is your fault. If it was your fault, then like, like yeah, go rectify. You know, you messed up, so go justify what you've done or fix what you've done. That would be fine. But like if you didn't do anything wrong and they just wanted you to do some extra work without extra pay, then I would probably slap you. That's like the key word, extra pay. If you're gonna work overtime, like not during work hours, then you need to be paid of that time that is not during work hours because it counts, you know. Have personal life too. I'm not going to be working for your company 24/7. It's not like that's going to benefit me in like the way it benefits you as a owner, right? So why should I? Unless you're making it benefit me in the way it benefits you as an owner, and that's a different case. Yeah, I would. I got mad at like everyone when they take work calls outside of work hours. Unless like if you know like you're freelancing and you don't have work hours, you kind of have to answer it. But like, yeah, I mean, if it's urgent and you are going to get compensated either by like them giving you extra time the next day to come in, like if you had to take an hour, then tomorrow you get to have like an hour later, then it's fine. You get to come in an hour later, and that's fine. You get compensated for your time, basically. Or if you're getting paid overtime for the hour, then like, yeah, sure. But if they're just calling you because they want something done and they want it now, but they can't really justify other than they just want it now, then it's not a great trade, I don't think. It's not really possessive. I mean, if you're going to enter a call, go ahead. It's not like I'm gonna be mad about it. I'm just unhappy with it. Because you're not, like, it's 2022. Either you're getting paid to answer that call, or you take time for yourself. Like, you have to act your wage. This is a thing. Like, you have to act your wage. If they're paying you jack, you give them jack. If they're paying you minimum wage, they get minimum effort. Don't give them extra unless they're willing to compensate for that extra. It's not worth it. It really isn't. It's like you work for a company for how many hours of your day, they don't think about you at the end of their day. Why do you need to think about them at the end of your day? It just doesn't seem fair. And like, if you suddenly die or like you get injured and you get incapacitated, you can't do your job anymore, all they're gonna do is fire you. They don't care about you. So why do you have to care for them in that way as well, you know? Like, you work your ass off for a minimum wage. It's not worth it. Unless they're paying you big money, again, or you own that company. Because if you own that company, then you have kind of no excuses because it is your own company. You kind of have to think about it 24/7. But if you just get paid minimum wage for your position, then you give them minimum effort. Because I I will bet you that as a minimum wage worker, only your superior knows about you. So everyone else above that chain knows nothing about you. But like, you're working to benefit mostly the people on top of that chain. So why? You know? You just gotta work the amount that you're paid to work. I feel like that's just the way it should be, you know. I feel like um if like when I get married and then my husband decides I'm gonna take a work call, if it's like not often, I don't think I'll be mad about it. But if it's like an everyday recurring thing, then I probably would ask them if they're getting a raise. Because if not, then it's not worth it. Unless they're getting paid well for their position, like if like let's say to paint it's minimum wage $5 and then they're getting paid like $50, then yeah, sure, go answer the call. You know, you should put in more effort rather than like those people who are getting paid $5 because you know it's just $5. You can't you can't do anything with that basically. Like with minimum wage here, it's kind of like a barely living situation as well, right? It's not like you can just buy whatever you want. You really gotta like ration things. You gotta budget things well. with minimum wage here. It's not like you can support like a family of 5 with no care in the world. You can barely like support a family of like one kid on that paycheck, I feel. And you gotta be really frugal because everything's prices are going up. It's not easy to have a family in this economy. I feel like it's no longer chill. my title is painting and chill, and I'm over here like workers' rights. Act your wage. But yeah, I think you're gonna almost angry with me every time because as PM, it's pretty hard to not take a call from my team for the work. Well, I kind of get it. Like I have friends, I have friends who are PMs, and I kind of get it. But like, I feel like if you're doing that kind of a job, unless you are a trainee or a very junior member of the staff, you should be compensated quite enough to be able to take calls outside of work hours, you know? But like, I mean, how do I say this? Yeah, I get that problems are going to happen at the most inopportune times, and like, it's not like you can predict what time a problem is going to arise, and even like as a company or stuff like that, it's probably kind of gonna be kind of hard to figure out what problems you're going to have or when it's going to happen, especially when it comes to tech stuff, because you know electronics just don't work the way you want them to all the time, especially coding. Codes are a disaster. No matter how organized you are, it's going to it's going to crash and burn at one point, and you're going to have to fix it at one point. But either you get compensated in general, like your wage itself already covers that overtime, or you get paid to do that shit over time, I feel. You can't just be given minimum wage and be expected to be on call 24/7. Even as a product manager, I don't think, at least. Like, I don't know, I don't think that that should be expected of anyone. Unless it's your own company, because that is your bread and butter, that is your baby at that point. But if you're just working, they should compensate you for that time. I know it's kind of hard here though. Here is still very traditional wanna company wise. Even even like our chatting system, I feel. Cause okay, so I used to work at a tech company and um we just use WhatsApp. There's no Slack, no Trello, no like I think the developers on like they talk to each other through there, but not anymore. Now it's mainly WhatsApp communication, I think. As far as I remember when I was there, it was up until when I was there, they were still using like WhatsApp as their main communication, and then I moved to a different company that wasn't Indonesia based, and it they didn't bother you on WhatsApp at all. Like they will not bother you on your WhatsApp. So like I don't know, different different countries have different standards. I just feel like we're kind of lagging behind on the standards for people getting paid fairly. Well, I'm gonna keep my phone on you then, so when they call you, can yell at them, say get the hell from us, but it's time for him to take a rest. Tech division mostly use Slack for yeah, but they don't. Um, for the company that I was talking about, they don't. They use WhatsApp. They they have only WhatsApp tab open. So I remember they tried using Slack. It didn't work. Nobody used it because everyone kept contacting everyone else on WhatsApp. So there was kind of like no use for Slack. It ended up getting scrapped between like within the week because nobody was using it. It was a pretty small team at that point. Now it's getting bigger, that much because I have friends there. But yeah, again, just to reiterate my point, you should act your wage. If they're paying you a lot, then you give them a lot. You know, you should be able to value your time by yourself. You know how much you're worth, and if you think you're worth more than that, then you ask for a raise. But of course, with proof that you are worth more than that, then just randomly ask for a raise. But like, if you're working a lot outside of work hours, then you should feel like you are well compensated for those hours. Maybe not monetarily, but like in other ways, maybe they make you feel like it's okay or like it's a good thing that you're entering work outside of work hours, because like how do I put it, right? When the clock gets to that point, and it's the end of the day, and I clock out, you will not hear a peep from me again, right? That's because I'm only getting paid to do that much. If I'm getting paid more, or if I will be getting overtime, or if I'm getting bonuses, then that's a different case, and I'm willing to work outside of work hours as well. But that doesn't always happen. So I value my personal time. I don't want to be at work 24/7. Because if I don't draw that line that way, then it's never going to like end. I feel work is just never going to end. There's always more work. There's always more things to do at a company. It's never going to end. And the more you take on, the more you're going to be at work, the less personal time you get. But if you don't get compensated for that lack of personal time, then yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. You know, I would find a different job if that's the case. So you should be compensated at least for the lack of personal time, I feel. Or at least you should feel compensated enough for that lack of personal time. Whatever time you put into a company should be paid for. Because that's their bread and butter. Like, it's your company, you should care for it, you know? But you hired me to do a specific job description for a specific amount of work hours. So if I go beyond that, I have to have a damn good reason for why I'm going beyond that. Oh, that's good. At least you're not really using WhatsApp, because I think it gets kind of annoying because it mixes with like your personal WhatsApp and like your business WhatsApp. That's why I got a new number for my personal like cell, and then I have my business number where people can contact me for work stuff, which apparently is again not normal everywhere else, just here apparently. Oh, thank you. I used to think my eyes were kind of brown, but like after looking at them again, I think they're kind of black instead. Like I don't think my eyes are brown. I used to think they were brown. I used to want them to be brown, but I don't think they're brown. I think they're black, actually. I still kind of wish I had the like really light brown eyes where like if the sun hits it just right, it's really pretty. But like, I don't think it was in my genes. I think my mother gave me brown eyes. I think my father gave me brown eyes. So here we are with our black colored eyes. I used to be really envious of people with blue eyes because they were really bright and really pretty, and it was just like it doesn't seem real, you know. Like growing up in like an Asian country with Asian people everywhere, you don't see a lot of blue eyes. So it seems like it came straight out of like a comic book. It doesn't seem real. It's really pretty. But nowadays I'm kind of glad I don't have blue eyes or light colored eyes because I'd have to wear sunglasses all the time in the sun. I already don't like the sun. So if I had to have like extra effort to just be in the sun, I think I'd just end up living inside my whole life, hikikomori style. I really don't think I would ever go out anymore if that was the case. Also, I hate um having to use sunscreen when you go out just to avoid getting a sunburn. Like, seriously though, the sun is so bright, why? And I get tan really easily, which annoys me as well, because I don't like getting tan, especially because usually there's like a sunburn involved before you get tan. It's so annoying. But like, if I go out for like a short period of time, even I'll get tan like really easily, but then I won't get back to my original complexion anytime soon. I had this time when I was like, I think I was like 5 or 6, and there was this pool near my house, and there was a kiddie section, but that one was like really out in the sun, you know, like there was no roof, no nothing on it, and I was playing there with my sister, and I had this one piece bathing suit on, and it had spaghetti straps, so it was like a tank top. And I wore that and I played in the sun for how many hours? And I had tan lines where the spaghetti straps were. So it was like a tube top kind of like the spaghetti straps and then like that, like straight across. And then I had those tan lines since I was 6 up until I was like 12 maybe. It was a really long time to have tan lines. They faded like really slowly and like you can kind of see them fading, but it was a really long time before it faded like completely out. So never again will I be playing in the sun that long. So after that incident, I just never wanted to touch anything related to the sun ever again. It was so, oh god, it was really annoying to have to stay out of the sun for that long after that. Cause I got a really bad sunburn too after that. Oh, that was the worst sunburn like ever. It was really bad. And it was because like also you're a kid, you don't know any better. So you just stay in the sun because you're having fun. And you like I feel like someone should have warned me about staying in the sun that long back then, but nobody did. And that was just terrible on all fronts, on all parts, on all sections. I just never again will I be swimming in the sun for 5 hours straight without like 500 layers of sunscreen. That was the most ridiculous sunburn I've ever gotten. It was painful to even take a bath after a bit. But yeah, I used to have also a lot of like I used to have a lot of time in the swimming pools. I used to swim quite a lot, but nowadays I haven't really found a pool that I want to swim in, like because the ones that I have access to, it's either very cold or kind of dirty, and I'm a fan of neither of those because I get cold really easily because I don't really have that much body fat protecting me, unfortunately for me. So when I swim, I get cold really easily. And I don't eat a lot, not really by choice, because If I could, I would, but I can't. Like, I can't physically eat that much, unfortunately for me. So I get cold really easily, especially when it comes to like water. I'm better with like AC because it's not like directly on your skin like water is, but I still get cold really easily. So swimming pools have not been great, the ones that I go to, because I don't go to the ones in like sports clubs where it's either opened with a lot of sun or like heated, you know? Like sports clubs sometimes they have those heated pools. Like there was even one with like what's it called? Waves where I used to live. And that was really fun. It was really warm there too. And the waves, you could just like lie down in the water and then the waves would just take you around the pool. It was really fun. But nowadays, since I don't really want to have to subscribe to like a sports club, I haven't gone swimming in a while. Just because of how dirty everything is, honestly. It's either dirty or cold. Like really clean but really damn cold. It's not great for me. Anyways, continuing on. I think I'm gonna treat you like a princess if you marry, since my love language is out of service. My love language is actually quality time. So I think if we did, I would be very angry very much of the time. Because you've made plenty clear that um you have to take a lot of work calls. And that is not something I would probably enjoy tolerating because I enjoy spending time with people. That's why love language ended up being quality time. And I hate it when like I'm chatting or we're doing something and then suddenly you have to go like take a call or do something else that we were doing something, you know, like interrupting that, then I'd probably be very angry inside. I'd be seething. But yeah. But that's a that's a that's not really a problem anymore these days. I get plenty of quality time, so I've learned to be more understanding as well regarding people's time because not everyone's love language is quality time. Ah, this paintbrush is giving me. I'm getting. Like, why? Why is it already frayed? I just bought you. Oh, I was kind of hoping this would make the painting process a lot easier because it would stay sharp on the end. But it didn't. So you're gonna ask your partner if you need quality time for both. Um, if I need quality time, I'm going to voice it out, and I usually do, with family or with friends even. Like it doesn't really matter who. If like if I don't know how to explain this. Hold on. Also, I am trying not to mess it up, but it's messing up. Anyways, um, I feel like in the past, how many years I've learned, that not a lot of people show quality time the same way I would prefer them to show quality time. Because quality time to me, um, used to mean we have to physically be there together because That was the easiest way for me to fill the time. Um, Over the phone is also fine, but like texting me back and stuff, that's fine. Like it's not like I'm completely it's not like I completely abhor them being like away from me. So long as they're dedicating some time to me, it's fine. But I would feel like I'm losing to a lot of other things, if that makes sense. Like work or hobbies and stuff like that. I have to understand, and I have to learn that people trying to actually like make time for you in itself already means they're trying to fill the quality time quota. And that was kind of hard to learn because, you're not actually getting quality time, but they are trying to make an effort to give you that quality time. So that one was kind of hard to like finally understand. But after a while, I did. So there's that. So if I can learn, you can learn. I guess that's my thing. You're so demanding your partner to have spending time with you. What if your partner has to live together because he don't want to live far away from you? I honestly, I would rather live with my partner rather than every weekend we meet for a bit and then at the end of the day I don't stay with my partner. It's how do I explain what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it's like I don't know. Yeah, I'm very attached to the people in my life, whether it be friends, a partner, or family. I'm very attached, and I get attached really easily. So once I'm attached, I don't like spending time away from you, especially if you are my favorite person. Like, if I feel really close to you, I will. I don't like spending time away from each other at all. I'm very clingy, apparently. I used to think I wasn't clingy because I had an ex that we agreed we don't want to like be touchy or anything like that. And that was kind of far from the reality apparently of what happened to me because I think that was kind of like a response to an earlier relationship I had where they where I was really clingy but they were not reciprocative at all. So I think that was kind of like a just like a response to that relationship and then being like, yeah, okay, I'm not doing that anymore because all that's gonna do is just make you feel sad. So you're just gonna not be clingy anymore. Like I think that was the thought process that went into it. But yeah, apparently I'm very clingy and I didn't notice up until I ended up dating my current partner. Will you say yes since you really demand to keep in touch? Uh, it's not really because I mm, I don't know how to articulate what I'm thinking. Hold on, let me think. If my partner asks me to live with them because they don't want to be far away from me, then I think we're on the same page because in that case, then that means we're we're on the same book, on the same chapter, on the same page where we are how to explain this? Like we have the same goal in mind and we are on the same wavelength about what we feel for each other. Because I feel like if they want me to live with them and I as a clingy person want to spend more time with them, then that aligns. But if at that point I don't feel like I want to spend that commitment on them, then I might still be reading the same book, might not be the same chapter though. They might be chapters ahead. But usually it's the other way around, where I'm more quick to, um, I guess, I'm not sure if I can call it commitment, but I'm more quick to want to spend a lot of time with you if you are my partner. I don't think I get jealous a lot though, but I don't like it when you are spending more time. By like a lot, I mean, right? Like if you're spending like hours with other people and just minutes with me, that's different. Like, I mean, if you're spending time with other people, that's fine. Like, I feel like if you're dating me, you have to spend a lot of time with me, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. I feel like I'm going off, like, the tangent so much today. I feel like we have so many things that we discussed in such a short period of time. I cannot. I'm living with my parents. They're going to wonder where I've gone. Also, my partner will probably wonder why. Okay. There's so many red I need to do. I don't know why I started with that. Because there's more precise ones that I need to fix. But I guess we'll start with this because it's less precise. We'll do the precise one with the small brush. Anyways, have you ever discussed living together? Yeah. We have discussed living together. It's been a while since we started dating, so that has already come up as a topic of discussion. But you know, living together here in Indonesia is not easy, is it? You kind of damn it! It's kind of hard to live together if you're not married to each other. So I think that's something we have to say for marriage. After marriage, I mean. Because it's not going to end prettily if anyone figures that we are not married and we are living together. Well, I think there's going to be like World War where we end up living, you know. Unless my partner was a girl, then nobody's probably going to like realize. Probably going, oh, such nice best friends living together. Wow. Much best friend. Cannot believe girls these days. They're so close, they're living together. Must be nice to have a house together with your best friend. Which, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be too far from the truth if you were dating that person. Because, like, if you're dating that person, it's probably because you are best friends. Because I feel like my spouse is my best friend. There's just no way around it, I feel. And I feel like the most connected to the person, so if you don't feel connected to that person, I don't think it's a good idea to keep the relationship going. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But yeah. Like, God forbid, I think it's more common thing now. It's where you pick the place, I guess. Yeah, but like, how yeah. Money is an issue, so cannot just pick willy nilly, you know. But also, not only are you thinking about like the place you're living at, but how much it's gonna cost as well. It doesn't end up becoming a pretty picture, you know, and it's gonna be stress inducing to think about all of that stuff. So I think we're just gonna like think about it if we get married, we'll do it after that. When we get married, I guess we'll do it after that. And a lot of my friends live together with a partner. Uh, I feel like it's a good idea to live with your partner before you are married to them, so that you know their quirks, basically, is what I'm thinking. So, like, you know what ticks them off, what makes them happy, what is their deal breaker exactly, you know? Like, if you leave the toilet seat up, is your partner going to be like livid? Is it something that's going to just really tick them off? Is it going to ruin their whole day? You know? What exactly makes your partner go really mad? What exactly makes your partner really happy? And what can you guys do to keep the peace together? Because everyone has their own quirks. And, oops, everyone has their own quirks. And living together means you have to accept their quirks, be understanding of their quirks, and also communicate with each other about those quirks. So I feel like it's a whole other Pandora's box that we're gonna have to explore. There are some budget rooms in Stillworthy, but like I feel like because I don't want to waste money on that when I can mooch off of my parents. Oh, hello! Oh, welcome. I don't think I saw you last week. And yeah, you have. Today's conversation has been really deep for some reason. It's been about relationships and stuff. It's kind of not normal. I said painting and chill, not painting and deep convos, but we ended up with deep convos. So oh, also since you're here, I'm gonna reiterate that I got a cable for my internet, but it's not here yet. So it's probably gonna be up next week, hopefully. So hopefully next week we'll have a very smooth stream that doesn't look like a PowerPoint. I was on holiday last week. I'm sure the stream was good as per. I I think I saw on your Instagram. Did you go to Italy if I'm not wrong? Yeah. Italy, right? And some people still think that living together is all about sex, but actually it's more than that. It is more than that. I feel like people don't understand, but living together is about learning about each other. You gotta know if you're correct for each other or not. Because there's a lot of things that's going to be a deal breaker once you end up living together. Like, you find out that person is messy, or like, you find out that they're just the worst about hygiene. That could be a deal breaker. And if you don't figure that out before you get married, you're gonna get divorced, which is probably what happens to a lot of people that decided not to live together before marriage. This is why I'm like an advocate for living together before marriage. This stream is therapy. Is it? I feel like we're discussing things that aren't therapeutic. Ah, okay. It's not getting on. Okay. Yeah, I was in Italy for my sister's wedding. Oh, congrats to your sister. Also, I've never been to Italy, but I assume it was gorgeous because I've seen so many like Instagram posts about it, like influencers going there and stuff. It usually looks really pretty. I've never been there. I've never been to anything Europe, I think. Never been anywhere near Europe, I think. I think the furthest I've ever gone was Hong Kong, from Indonesia, I mean. I'm not quite sure. My parents have been elsewhere. They've been to a lot of places because it was company funded. They went to like Spain and stuff. They had a lot of fun back in their youth. But I've never been anywhere near Europe, as far as I know. Because we used to travel a lot, but that was when I was like really little, like really teeny. So we don't do that anymore because we have other things to worry about, i.e., money, budgets, sisters going to colleges and schools and stuff like that. So it hasn't been easy to travel. But I've always wanted to go to like European countries. I feel like that would be interesting to see how different it is or how similar it is to how we are. Because like all of my friends, they've gone to school, they've gone to college at like Aussie in US, and I'm like alone. Everyone has left me. They went they went to a different country. And now there's no one that I'm close to that is still here that like are from my high school. Because everyone's got their lives in a different country now. And I've been left here just because everyone else went to different places. Like I had a friend who went to the US, Seattle, I think she went to study in. And then I have one that went to Melbourne. And I think there are two in Aussie, but I don't recall exactly where in Aussie the other one is. But yeah, I've never been to any of those places, and I'm kind of jealous. Italy literally is exactly how the pictures are. Oh, I wish I could go. It sounds really nice. It sounds really pretty. But you know, honestly, right? It's really expensive to go anywhere from here. Because I think going to Japan is already really expensive from here. And it's still in Asia. So I think if I'm not wrong, going to America I'm not sure about now, but I think it used to be 15 mil rupees. I'm not sure how much that is in dollars, but 15 million rupees, I think. How many dollars is that? It's like times 12, if I'm not wrong. Times 14 now. Times 14, 15. So if it was times 15, then oh wow, I'm terrible at math, guys. I'm terrible at math. It'll be at least $1,000, I think, just to go. I'm not sure though. Apartment rent is a bit expensive these days. Yep, buying an apartment is also expensive. I looked at a lot of apartments, a lot of houses and stuff like that because I wanted to move out. It made me stay with my parents instead of moving out. It's just unaffordable. It's crazy. Honestly, it's terrible. I've never like I told myself I was gonna move out as soon as I got a steady job. I got a steady job. I looked at apartments and stuff, and I just it's just not happening. It will not happen because that's expensive as hell. I don't know how people afford to live these days, but I can't. Like heck, I don't know why it costs so much. And like the thing is, right, my dad had brushings with like real estate, with interior, not real estate, sorry. So he had this interior business going on, and he knows how much is supposed to be expensive and how much is like the standard. And everything I looked at was way above standard. It was way expensive. It was just like crazy unaffordable. And that was during like the pandemic as well when I looked around again. Like I did this more than once, right? Fresh out of college, I didn't have any money, but I wanted to know. And then during the pandemic, I was like, that's probably a good time to figure things out if I want to move out. But no, I can't afford that. It's really damn expensive. Like, I'm not paid enough to be able to buy my own apartment. Or, like, I don't really want to pay someone to live in their apartment when I could live for free in my parents' house, you know? Because, like, it's just an extra cost that I wouldn't need to spend. But also, if that extra cost is like, what, 500, something like that would have been fine. But living in someone else's apartment costs a lot, so that's also not going to happen. So yeah, property prices, not great. Terrible. Terrible. I don't like the property prices. I hope it goes down a bit so at least I can get my own place or something to like invest in something, you know? Because I feel like I need a secondary income because I'm not getting paid too much to fund this hobby of mine, this really damn expensive hobbies of mine with an S at the back because I have more than one now. Thanks a lot everyone who's bought me things and told me to try things out. But yeah, property prices, terrible. I hate it, can't afford anything. I feel like that was like a whole tangent of its own. But yeah, terrible. Property prices are terrible. Hate it. Don't recommend. I don't recommend living here unless you are converting from dollars. Then I do recommend. It'll probably be pretty cheap. That's why a lot of expats live here, I think. Our currency is just terrible compared to dollar. Like I think $1 there is like 15K here, right? If I'm not wrong, 14 to 15. So like $50. Frick, I'm terrible at math. I'm sorry. It's like 700K around that. So your $50 can buy me a pretty good MG. Pretty good MG Gundam. On the flip side, going to your part of the world for us it's very expensive. Really? Is it? I feel like Indonesia is very cheap though. Have you ever been to Bali? It's really cheap. $4 for US dollars, really cheap. For anything around the dollar rate, really cheap. Japan's currency is actually quite expensive as well, in my opinion. But that's because I live in Indonesia and my currency doesn't stack up. Gila, barang kamu tuh mungil banget ya kuliah deh. Aku makannya dikit banget sih. Tapi emang gara-gara gak bisa makan. So, bukannya gak mau makan ya, aku suka makan. Aku suka all you can eat juga. Cuman gak bisa makan segitu. So I'm small, not by choice, basically. The math confusion is hilarious. I thought you was buffering. No, so okay, I'm terrible at math. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but once in high school there was a math test, and it was like a pretty standard math test, but it had like algebra, calculus, stuff like that, you know. And I scored a 1 out of 40 possible points. And I looked over my answers and I was like, wait, where'd the 1 come from? So I went to the teacher and asked the teacher, where the heck did my 1 point come from? Because I don't see any correct answers. And he was like, oh yeah, I gave you that 1 point because you wrote on the exam itself and it like basically wasted your time on it. So it's like the fee for writing on the exam because you didn't get any points and I felt bad for you. And I was like, oh, okay. Thanks, teach. That helped literally in no other way other than make me feel better. But you know what? That's all that matters, right? It didn't help my grades, but yeah, math was never my strong suit. Flight to Bali is what's expensive. Ah. Okay, so I know it's because it's far. But you see, the thing is, right, I think a lot of expats, they don't come here to vacation once and then go back home. They come here to get a job teaching English and never go back home because they get paid in foreign currency. So if you're from the US, you get paid in dollars, which was what happened to a lot of my high school teachers. They get paid in dollars. So they are damn rich when they are living here. They get paid with US standards. Meanwhile, our Indonesian teachers are paid with Indonesian standards and rupiahs. So, but your shape is cute. Thanks. I don't know what else to say to that other than thank you. I feel like when I look at myself in real life, I don't look that thin. But when I take pictures, it makes me look a lot thinner than what I am, I feel. I'm not sure if that's true, but I don't think I look as thin in real life. Because I had this one photo I took with my friend, and I feel like I look really, really damn thin in it. But I didn't feel it when I was looking at myself in the mirror. Like, I didn't feel like I was that thin, you know? I know I'm pretty thin, but I didn't think it was that bad. So, yeah. Or maybe I need a career change. I'll live like a king. Honestly, that's true. And the thing is, right, I don't know about now, but when I was in high school, I went to a pretty prestigious high school with a lot of expats, and they they weren't necessarily qualified to teach. So at one point there was this shortage of English teachers, and one of the math teachers that we had, who was from the US, he got drafted to become an English teacher basically. So he got changed from like high tier maths. I forgot what it's called. Like AP maths, I think it was. It was it was something else. The name was something else, but it was AP maths basically. Got changed from AP maths to English just because he is a US citizen and he lived in the US all his life. So the bar is very low. You don't even need to have a teaching background, I think. All you need is your passport and prove that you can teach them basic grammar, basically. Because some of the teachers I had could not teach. For the love of God, they cannot at all. I had one teacher who was kind of nuts, and another teacher who just basically just could not teach like anything. They knew what the subject by heart, basically. They're just not fit to be a teacher. Like they couldn't teach. It didn't help us understand anything. They can't articulate their thoughts well, and it just made us feel kind of dumb. But then there was also really good teachers who used to teach for the SAT and stuff like that. But those teachers we ended up getting hated upon because they taught too well, and the students didn't actually want to learn anything. Because prestigious high school, parents got involved. I never had a problem with the teachers that can teach, but then apparently they did. So then there was an intervention and all that. I think he got called into like the principal's office as well to talk to the parents and stuff. It was a whole mess. But yeah, the bar is very low. And the more friendly you are with the kids, the more likely they'll just keep you on as a teacher without actually caring if they're actually learning anything. So that's a tip, I guess, if you want to move here. So if you still live with your parents, how can you live together with your partner? I do not live together with my partner. I live with my parents and my two cats and my sisters. So I don't know where you got the idea that I'm living with my partner. No permission needed, but the tax in the UK is high, really? Well, I don't know. I've never really looked into it. And most of my teachers were from the US. So maybe change it change your citizenship to US citizenship first and then move here. Cause it'll be really nice to like barely do anything at work. Have kids just love you because you're a really fun, cool dude, you know? And then go home to a fat paycheck and a mansion. But yeah, I've seen the teachers' accommodations as well, like here. Like there was an apartment that a lot of the expats lived in, and it was pretty nice too. So yeah, it's not just getting by, I think, as an expat here. I think as an expat here, you probably like live pretty damn well, especially if you're getting paid dollars. Yeah. that brings me to another question. Have you eaten hydrated? I have eaten. I actually ate quite a lot today because my dad bought me food and my mom made me food. So I had to eat a bit of both. I finished I finished like 1.5 times more than I usually would. So I ate quite a lot. And I have a drink. Is there? I'm not sure if you can see a brand, so I'm just gonna do this because there's no brand on this side. So yeah, I have a drink. This is actually a peanut drink. It's like I think it's made with peanut butter or stuff like that. It's really nice. What if one day you marry someone who wants to be child free? I don't want children. Let me just get that straight first. I don't want children ever because it's not really how do I say, it's not really about it is about preference. It's more about financial situation. I feel like everything is a lot more expensive nowadays, having children included. The cost of a child just in the first days of living is like already how many million rupiahs. It's not sustainable at all. Like a hospital fee already how much, even if you have insurance, it's already very expensive. And then from there you have to bring them home, and at home you have to have already a room decorated with children's stuff, because if not they're going to injure themselves because they're babies and they don't understand anything. And if you don't have anything with like railings and stuff, they could fall over. So it has to be baby proof, and that's not cheap. You have to buy a crib, you have to buy like stoppers for your like what's it called, contact, the thing where you plug your electronics in, sockets, that's what it's called, sockets. You have to cover those up, buy the things to cover those up with. And then that's just like the small stuff for the house, right? Okay, one-time purchases. Okay, and then there's diapers. It's not gonna be a one-time purchase. Diapers, it's going to be like monthly, unless you're going to go that like very climate friendly lifestyle where you buy reusable diapers and such. But realistically, as a parent, where I'm not thinking of giving up my career either. So, as a parent, who you and your spouse is probably going to have a career because I'm not giving up mine, right? So, there's probably no time to wash the diapers in between changes. So you're probably gonna default back to the diapers that you're going to change, like you're going to just throw away. Those diapers are not a one-time purchase. They're going to be like every week. You're gonna need more. And then baby food. If you're done breastfeeding or something like that, baby food, baby formula, that also costs a lot. With spikes in prices, that's way unaffordable. And then if you both are working, you and your partner, you have to find someone to care for them. And if you don't have any immediate family, that's going to be a babysitter. Babysitters are not cheap. Daycares either, if you can't find a babysitter you can trust, right? That means you have to find a daycare. That's not cheap. And then once the kid grows up, there's preschool, and then there's school. And that's going to go on for at least 17 to 18 years. And even then, if they're going to college, you're probably going to fund them for college, right? That's another like 20 years. College is also really expensive. So that's like 20 years of financial decisions that you're going to have to make as soon as you have a baby. Like you're going to have to make sure you can provide for that baby up until that point of their life, until they're independent. That is not cheap. And with my salary, it does not seem possible anytime soon. So I do not want a child. I feel like having a child is a thing you do when you're rich and or you are already stable. which at this point, I think the fastest I'll be stable is like in my 30s. Like, income wise, I mean, right? Like, really good income with enough to be able to support a family kind of income. Like, even if it's a double income, it's still going to be in my 30s, I feel. Because children are not cheap, especially if you want to give them a good life that you think they deserve. It's not cheap. So, I don't see having children anywhere near in the near future. So, that's why I don't want to have children. I know that was kind of like a tangent, but that's what you asked for it, so. So yeah. And this is not big shit, but I'm not going to say what it is. And yes, no children, just more cats. Because at least cats, you know that it's going to be an expense. Let me change the screen actually because I'm done painting. But look at them. They're fully base painted. So that's good. Okay, let me read the comments again. And for cats, you know that it's going to be an expense, but at least you know how much it's going to be, like, around every month. I can kind of, if I calculate everything, I can pretty much tell you how much I'll be spending on them for the whole year. Kids, on the other hand, that's not a thing that's going to happen. You can't be like, okay, so I'm gonna need just this. There's gonna be needs that you didn't think of, you didn't list, and emergencies maybe. Like counting out the regular doctor checkups, the regular vaccines, the annual ones, the biannual ones, the triannual ones, the first few months of their life vaccines and stuff like that. Like counting those ones that you can actually schedule out, there's going to be stuff as especially if you're a first time parent that like, oh my god, there's a spiking fever, let's go to the ER. That's going to be money as well. And it's not like you're gonna be like, it's a spiking fever, let's give it like a whole adult dose of Tylenol and it'll be fine. Because that's not what you're going to be thinking of when it's your baby, you know. You're gonna be panicked. You're gonna want the best for your kid, so you're going to bring them to the doctors, and that's going to be a lot of money in itself. But for cats or pets in general, you can pretty much tell how much you're going to spend on them, especially if like you can tell from their habits, like, oh, they're going to break their toy in a few months, so every how many months I'm going to have to buy a new toy, so that means in a year I have to buy 5 toys, and then you can calculate how much this going to cost roughly. Children you can't, so yeah. Sorry, my BF came first. As someone who is 31, you'll be surprised how your values change over time. It's not about my values, I don't think, because I don't know how to explain that my thought process on this. It's not that I don't want children because I hate kids. It's not really off the books. Oh, it's not really off the books for me in general. Let me turn off this light, it's really bright. It's not really off the books for me in general if like I want to have kids. And it's not about wanting to have kids. But if I want to have kids, or if I'm going to bring a kid into this world, I don't want to have it struggle in any way, shape, or form. I want to be able to give them the life that I would want for myself. Does not mean I'm going to spoil them like monetarily, but it does mean that I want to be able to afford everything that they're going to need, no matter what it is, without a second thought. So if they're going to need a sudden ER visit, then I want a sudden ER visit to be on the books ASAP, you know? I don't want to have a kid and then think, how am I going to get you in school, you know? How am I going to be able to afford clothes for you, food for you? Do I have to, like, starve myself for you to be able to eat? Like, I don't want to have those kinds of thoughts. If I'm going to have a kid, I want to be able to support it no matter what. and be able to make decisions that are responsible, but also like not limited by a budget specifically because you are lacking in that department. However, considering I don't think I'll be financially in that position in the next few years, I don't think it will be a very good decision for me to have kids, especially if I'm already in my 30s or 40s as well. Considering if you are in your 30s or 40s and your kid is just born, you have a 30-year age gap, and when they are of a certain age, you are already very old. And I don't want to have to struggle through my senior age to be able to support a child I decided to have very late in life. If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to have enough money to be able to support them, even if I'm going to retire at the age that I want to retire, basically. So, yeah, it's not really about not wanting kids because of that. Like, it's more like financially, I just don't think that it will ever be in the books, basically. Please don't consume mixture that much. The glucose they've got is just too much for your needs for a day. Ah, that's true. I don't actually like mixture, so I'm 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 all good on that. I consume mixture like once every 3 months maybe because my family buys it sometimes. But other than that, I don't really buy mixture. I like sweets, but not theirs for some reason. Like their drinks make me feel kind of queasy. Lagian juga aku nggak minat untuk punya anak kayak manusia tuh udah banyak aja gitu, sumpah malahan. Tapi nggak juga ngolok-ngolok mereka yang mau tetap punya anak banyak. Ya itu juga hak mereka, sebagaimana kita punya hak juga. That's true. So like having kids is a right, I think, and it is also a privilege. If you can think about having kids, that means you are privileged enough to be in a lifestyle where you don't have to think too much about like other things, like where your food is coming from, how am I gonna survive like the next 5 years if anything happens or something like that. Because I feel like if you have kids without having being stable enough for it, it's not fair to the kid. So I think it is a privilege to be able to think about kids even in any way. So yeah. But yeah, the world is already very um crowded. So I get why a lot of people don't want kids. And I'm not judging anyone's values or anything. I just personally don't think I'll be able to have kids. But it's not like I hate them. I don't mind kids. And that might change in the future. I might come to like kids even more. But honestly, they're just not very good financial investment. Especially if you're doing like if you're getting kids late in life. And thanks. I'm glad you like the painting. There's some stuff that I need to fix up after this, but not today. I don't think. I have to sleep earlier nowadays because my schedule has changed a bit. So I can't stay up for as late as usual. But yeah. But let me just like put a disclaimer again. I'm not against people who want to have kids. I'm not against having kids. And I'm not against not having kids. I don't really mind where you stand on that spectrum. Nor do I really like judge anyone for it. If you want to have kids, then go have kids. It's your right. Personally, I just don't think that that's a thing that can happen anytime soon. How about your partner? Is he okay if you don't want to have a kid? Yeah, he don't want any kids either, so we're good on that department. I think it'll change even more if your sister have kids. My sister had my niece, and now there's nothing more important, if that makes sense. It does actually, because I've heard a lot of people that like they just fell in love with their niece and stuff like that. That makes them kind of want to have their own. But I don't know. I think if my sister have children, if my sisters both have children, or even if just one of them have children, I think if I am um if I do fall in love with the kid, which I think I might, like I mean it's my sister's little human being, right? So why not? But I don't think that will make me want to make a in my opinion it would be reckless because if I don't feel secure enough financially then that would be really reckless for me. But yeah, I don't think if I am at that point still not stable financially, then I don't think I will make the reckless decision to have a kid. Um, but if at that point I am stable, then might be something I consider. But I'm going to have to look at my finances and like my where I am in life first to be able to make that decision. I feel because at this point my life isn't stable enough to warrant kids, so that's where I'm standing at the moment. But if in the future suddenly I'm a millionaire who has no care about money, then kids are definitely something I'll think about again. You know, yeah, it's pretty hard for me to find partner who really agree for child-free marriage. A lot of people don't agree for child-free marriage. I feel like they want to keep their like bloodline going, but I'm here like, I have two sisters. My bloodline will keep going. It'll be okay. One of them adamantly wants kids, so I'm like, okay, not having kids. I feel my parents are going to bother me a lot about it if I don't have kids, but they have two grandchildren already, and they're already a big mess. So I don't know if they're going to keep bugging me about like human children. Yeah, it's like the first baby you end up growing with, seeing all the time their growth day by day is genuinely incredible. I've, I think, um, the first time my parents brought home a baby would be when I was 3, so I didn't quite understand it. And then the second time is when I was 6. So, uh, at that point in my life, I think since I was where's my face? Jeez, this camera. Okay, let me unplug everything. Let me try to plug it back in. Ah, what the hell? I didn't move the camera. Okay. Okay. So, I think it was because it was back then when I was still a kid. Um, I think it ended up being mostly jealousy rather than like, oh my god, this precious human life. Because at that point, when you're 6 years old and your parents just suddenly stop giving you their attention and then they give it to this new competitor, it doesn't feel great. Okay, it doesn't feel great. So that's probably why I don't have fond memories of babies because there's like nothing else in my life that has given me a chance to access babies. But also, I'm terrible with stench. I cannot stand anything remotely um, unpleasant smelling, and I'm very I guess kind of like a princess. I don't like touching dirty things. I don't like touching trash. I don't like touching anything like with dirty connotations, basically. So I don't know how in hell I'm going to change diapers. I don't know how I'm going to clean up baby saliva, snot. Children are very disgusting, you know, like they don't have a care in the world still at that point. They spit all over the place. They like babies because they can't control it yet. Like they drool, or like when you burp them, sometimes they throw up instead. So I don't think I can ever clean that up or change a baby or something like that. But yeah, this is why I feel like I need to be in a place where I'm very financially stable and very mentally mature enough to have a kid. Because if not, I don't think I can deal with a kid, if you get what I mean. Because again, I can't deal with those like dirty things, right? So I would rather pay someone to do it or have my spouse do it for me because I don't want to do that. You know? Like I really hate dirty things. But yeah. I can't. I have a partner. mm, I feel like doing the cleaning because you do anything for them is probably true. Like I'd probably end up doing that. Fun fact: in 2 years, I've never changed my niece. I hand her over every time. But yeah, I feel like if it's like my kid, I'd have no choice but to change them, right? Because it's my kid, came out of me. It's my little womb nugget. So like however disgusting it is still mine. So it's not like I'm gonna let it sit in its own poop for like 3 hours until my spouse gets home or until I get a nanny or something like that, and then be like, hey, this kid has been sitting in its own poop for 3 hours. Please change them. It's not like I'm gonna do that, but I don't think I'll be able to do that without slightly resenting them, like or being annoyed. So I'm not very great with controlling emotions and anger and stuff like that, and I don't think I want to project that onto a child, if that makes sense. Because I feel like doing something like changing a diaper or something like that, it triggers something like for me. Like it's just really gross for me. I hate it, and like the smell is disgusting. So my grandma has not been able to control when she goes. So she's been wearing a diaper, and then whenever she gets changed, I have to leave because it, like, I just cannot stand it, and I just cannot imagine having to change that because even like I love my grandma a lot. Like I would do anything for her, but change her. Why? Because like she raised me, right? Basically, my grandmother raised me. My mom used to be like a really strong career woman, and when I was younger, the one who would raise me was my grandma. So she would take me to school. She would take me from school. She would discipline me. She would praise me. She was basically like my primary caretaker. So I love her a lot, and I I would do anything for her. But changing her, I don't think I can ever do because just because of how averse I am to those kinds of things. Like I don't want to touch anything regarding that. I don't want to be anywhere near that. Like I have cared for her while there is that stench. Like I had to hold my breath because she had pooped in her diaper and it was time to change her, but we needed to change the sheets first and stuff. So we had to get her off the bed and stuff. Um, so I had done stuff like that, but I have never changed her. So it's genuinely hard to explain. But when it's a precious baby, it's very, very different. All you want is to protect them. Never really felt like this until she was born. She's not even mine. Mm, I guess it could be different. I'm not going to say anything in regards to that because I've never um, had a niece or anything. Might change my mind one day, but I I don't know. I just genuinely don't think financially I will be able to do that because again, inflation is weird. It's very quick, and your pay doesn't scale with inflation as quickly as quickly as inflation does. So if inflation goes up, your pay probably hasn't, which not great, but is pretty true. So that's why I don't. That's just why I don't think I'll ever have children. It's not like it's going to. It's not like I've made up my mind completely. I'm still pretty young, and I'm not married yet, so it could change afterwards. But for now, the deal is, um, no children just because of financial situations. It's hard. You'll be a big time streamer soon. I hope so. I only have 3 subscribers though, so I don't think that's big time yet. Hopefully, it'll be a lot more soon. Other than that, yeah. I don't think I have anything to add about the baby situation because I feel like I've said my piece with it. Because, yeah, it's just not really feasible yet. So maybe if it becomes more feasible in the future, it'll be a thing. But I don't know, honestly. Another thing that scared me about having babies is actually having the baby. Have you seen a pregnant woman? Because I have seen a lot of pregnant women, and all I can imagine is it being me. I don't know how much I'm going to stretch, and that's scary because like I tilt with like the slightest push. I don't know how I'm going to keep standing upright if I have 2 big bumps like that. It's really scary. And then having to deliver the baby, if something rips and I can't pee right, it's going to be really painful, I know. And like, I'm scared of complications as well. Because, you know, my mom had to like have a C-section as well. And that was really scary, honestly, thinking about it. I don't really want to be in that situation. But yeah, we'll see in the future. This was very deep. Okay, let's end it with the painting. So here's what we did today before and while we talked about all the babies. So this one's arm is missing. That's because the first time we started painting, it fell off, but it gave me access to the insides of it. So we should be pretty much done with the base. I just need to fix a few things up, like some of the gold has gotten some white on it, and some of the black as well, but it's not much, so should be able to do it without like being on screen. But yeah, this is what we did. I'm happy that they look pretty nice. They look pretty neat considering my frigging paintbrush has frayed all over the place, even though it's just like the first time using it. But yeah, so I'm glad we finished the base painting today, because if not, we're going to have another session trying to finish the base painting, and I don't think that's very nice like to do, because I want to move on from the base. But yeah, so tomorrow we'll be doing the MG Hainu again. This guy. We're going to continue with the legs, and I think there are shoulder pieces that we're going to do, but hopefully we can make it stand on its own, and then we'll have another one for just the weapons, because it is the heavy weapons version and it has weapons by itself. So we'll do that, and then we'll see where we end tomorrow. But yeah, today's topics were very, very deep. I don't know how we got there, but it was pretty fun chatting with you guys about these stuff. It's kind of weird though, because like I thought it would be chill, and instead we had like very retrospective moments today. But yeah, I'm glad I could chat with you guys while I was painting, also talk about this kind of stuff. But yeah, no judging zone. If you feel differently from me, I don't judge you, and hopefully you'll extend the same courtesy to me. So we'll just live with our own perspectives about this kind of stuff, and we're not discussing. Just a disclaimer: we're not going to be discussing politics on this either. So we'll be like very neutral here. Even this didn't feel that neutral, but like I mean, if we're not judging each other and stuff. It'll be fine. But like I feel like politics is something that you can't help but be not neutral on. So we're not touching anything on that. Religion, we could probably talk about that. Just no judging anyone else's religions. So this is like for next time if we are talking about more deep stuff. You're not Baby Factory, it's okay. Yeah, so I get that. But yeah, well, it's just like I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking. But yeah, I do believe that you should be able to choose your own life. Like if you don't want to have kids or if you want to have kids, then that's your own prerogative. Do what you want, you know. I don't judge you, you don't judge me. If you want to have a baby, you have a baby. If you don't want to have a baby, you don't have a baby. You have the right to live up your life however you want, as long as you don't take someone's right on you. That's true. That I agree with. So long as you're not harming anyone, do what you want to do. So long as you're not infringing on anyone's rights, it'll be okay. Just stay true to yourself, you know, and be yourself and be who you want to be, no matter what. Because, you know, life's no fun if everyone just adheres to the same thing. It'll be a cult instead. But, but yeah, today was fun. Today we had a very deep conversation where I think it started off with like living together with your partner before marriage. But yeah, if you guys want to discuss more deep topics, um, I don't ban it or anything, so you can do it. You can ask me deep questions and I'll answer you if I have any thoughts on it. Just don't bring up anything too political. And if you want to talk about religion, we're going to talk about it in a way where it doesn't bash the religion. So we're just going to be respectful and mindful of everyone else's preferences, lives, etc. I don't know why this camera hates me, but it does. Let me try and fix that. Okay. So yeah. So I think with that being said, we can chat again tomorrow because we'll be doing the MG. Again, if you guys want to talk to me about other stuff, go ahead. Like it doesn't have to be a superficial chat where we just like chat about random things. We can chat about random deep things like today. It's fine too. So whatever you guys feel like, just chat in the comments and then I'll read it out. And then if I have an answer to it, then I'll answer you. If I don't, then I'll tell you I don't have an answer. But yeah. Again? Okay. But yeah. So I think that's that for today. Thank you so much, guys, for accompanying me. I hate this camera. For accompanying me paint this and have fun with me, and also talk about deep stuff with me. Because really, I hate this camera so much right now. Oh my god. What the hell? Okay, let me just change it. This camera is terrible, but that's because it is my laptop's camera. You guys are gonna have to contend with this for now because the USB camera doesn't work. It's terrible. I just realized this. This is such a terrible camera. What the hell? Okay, but anyways, thank you so much, guys, for accompanying me. Oh my god, what the hell? This camera's so bad. Let me try to fix the other camera. Anyways, thank you for accompanying me. Oh god. Oh, the other camera's back. No, it's not. What's going on? Okay. What? What? That's so weird. What is wrong with my camera? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So before anything else happens, thank you so much for joining me today. Join me again tomorrow to make the MG to finish up the to finish up the legs and stuff. Yeah, it is scary. This camera does want to stop me from streaming. God. Okay. Anyways, thanks so much again for accompanying me today. I very much appreciate everyone who's here and who's chatting with me, and also who's not just watching and lurking is also fine. And thank you so much for viewing, subscribing, everything that you're doing. This camera. Anyways, thanks again for accompanying me. God damn. Okay, thank you again for accompanying me. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. And if you are not going to be there tomorrow, if you want to see me stream again, it'll be on Thursdays and Fridays every week at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7. If you want any updates or on if I'm going to be streaming or not, I usually update on Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram to get more updates on streaming schedules and stuff like that, and about me in general. Like, I update my stories quite often, so if you want to stalk me, that's the correct place to be at. What is wrong with this camera? Ah! Oh my god! What the hell? Why? I don't know what's wrong with the camera. So, okay, there it is. I don't know what's wrong with the camera. Really? Okay. 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 I spent money on the cable for the internet, so I can't buy a new camera yet. So it'll be internet first and then camera. So yeah. It's time for PC build. Sure. You know what? At this point, I don't think I'm gonna refuse donations because this is terrible. God, this. I don't know if I can keep living like this. But yeah, I don't know if I can keep streaming like this. It's more like it. But yeah, I'm not gonna refuse it. I'm not even gonna try to refuse it because this is ridiculous. I should really get a PC. Yeah. Anyways, thanks again after all this time accompanying me after all the camera malfunctions as well and the PowerPoint like streams. I'm glad you guys are still here watching me. I promise you, I am trying to get the internet fixed. So hopefully by next week, it'll be fixed. Hopefully the cable will do a lot for us. So yeah. I think that with that, I think that's all I have to say. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to say or have to say. So if there's more stuff you guys want to discuss, let's discuss it tomorrow because I'll be streaming again. And I think like since we can discuss more things like with a longer period of time, it'll be better to continue tomorrow. So anyways, thank you guys again, and thank you for liking the stream. And I hope to see you tomorrow or next week or whenever else that I stream, or even if you're just going to stalk on my Instagram, that's fine too. So yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. See you.